All right, welcome back, guys, to another episode of our NHL 19 franchise mode where we've expanded the league to 32 teams and brought back the Quebec City Nordiques. It is time for the Year 4 playoffs. Toronto taking on Quebec in round number 1. We're going to take a quick look at the playoff tree, and we will see how things shape up this year. All right, out there in the East, we're taking on Toronto. You got Boston taking on Tampa Bay, Philadelphia taking on Buffalo, and Carolina taking on New Jersey. Over in the West, you have Nashville and Chicago, Dallas and Colorado, Anaheim and Las Vegas, and Edmonton is taking on St. Louis. All right, so it should shape up for a pretty good postseason here. Pretty good playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll just have to see how things go. So our first opponent is going to be Toronto. So Toronto had a pretty decent year. Obviously, they made it into the playoffs. They had 45 wins, 30 losses. So they went into the final 10 games at a 5-4-1. We kind of had a similar end of the season there. We had a bit of a rough end there. Ended up going 5-5 in our last 10. If we take a look at their lines real quick, we can show you who's on their team. Go all the way over here to Toronto. Looks like they've got Nylander, Tavares, Marner as their top line. They've got Gamer, Kadri, Brown as their second line. Timashov, Kopp, Baptiste, Gagne, Kruger, and Brown. No idea where Matthews is right now. He's either hurt or they traded him or he walked in free agency. It's very possible they could have walked in free agency, but very interesting. And some of these, as you can see, are not four-barred, so that means we don't know their true numbers. But I think that we're going to have a tough opponent here. Their first line is going to be obviously pretty solid. Second line, that's pretty solid too. Really interested to see what Connor Brown's overall is, really. I don't think it's 76. I really doubt it. It's probably closer to 80-something. Timashov, Kopp, Baptiste. Yeah, these guys are all going to be very tough team to play against. I'm wondering where Matthews is. That's very strange. Riley, Liljegren on their top two pairing, Muzzin and Zaitsev, Dumoulin and McDermott. Yeah, there we go. So, obviously their first pairing beats ours. Our second pairing is better, and our third pairing is better. All right, and then who do they have in net? They have Frederik Andersen. So we have to go up against Frederik Andersen with a rookie Remy Stallcup. Because, as you may recall from our last episode, we lost Vasilevsky to a herniated disc at the right before the last game of the season. So as such, we have Remy Stallcup in net. And if you take a look at what Remy did this year, he didn't do very well. He's played one game in the playoffs. That's what we want to see. We want to see who is his. There we go. There are his season stats right there. He ended up playing 26 games, won 14 of them. 9-13 with a 2.59. This is not as reflective as we would hope, but it is what it is, right? And then postseason, he's had one game. He came in last year and kind of filled in for one game. Ended up losing that game pretty big. So we're hoping we don't have to repeat that. Hopefully he's learned from it. We'll see. Here are his stats. He is really good with his glove, but everywhere else needs work. Breakaway, 5-hole, stick, all those things he needs work on. Passing's good. He's got great rebound control, great recovery, great puck playing frequency, but his poise needs work. And over there on the far end, his athleticism, his speed needs work. 82 speed. Everything else there is fine. I'd like to see his agility up a little bit too, so speed and agility up would be good. But right now, his vision is great. He's going to be able to see the puck clearly, but making sure he stops it, that's the other big question, right? So butterfly goalie going into the playoffs here against this team should be very interesting. And then take a quick look at our forward core. We've got Forsberg, Hughes, and Denisenko. This is wrong. Why this is like this, I have no idea. Go back and reset all of this. We're going to run Forsberg, Duchesne, and Hughes. We're going to run... we are going to run DeSalvatore here. DeSalvatore, Paling, and Kaprizov. We're going to go... Denisenko, Jankowski, and Wahlstrom. And then Tuft, and instead of Sherwood, we're going to run Sissons. There we go. We're going to run Sissons down there. Tough Sissons Noonan for the playoffs. And if this line doesn't get it done in the playoffs, then we may have to make some changes, but I think that's the way we're going to run it right now. And then if I want to take a quick look at our defense, we have Zadorov, Hamilton. Brodin didn't end up being that 88 that we really were hoping he was. That 88-90, just it didn't turn out to be that way. We ended up actually saving $1.5 million. Same contract length, same stats for the most part, only he is a two-way defender, and I think the same can be said about Ryan Ellis. He's just different-handed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually flip these over and run Brodin over there on the right and just Connor Miller over there on the left because... you know what? No, let's run Brodin on the left because that's his passing side, and he doesn't have good one-timers. Miller does, so maybe Miller could pick up a couple extra points there. So that's kind of the situation. That's what we're going to do. We got Duncan Christopher and Girard together on that bottom pairing. We got Miller and Brodin and Zadorov and Hamilton. We're just going to have to hope that this all works. Right? All right, so let's enough vamping. Let's get right into the games, and we'll get through round number 1 here, hopefully relatively quickly. We do have home ice advantage in this first round. Hopefully that will pay off. Here we go. First game against Toronto in Quebec City, and we're underway. All right, I have a bit of a cold, guys, so I do apologize. I hope I am not too gross for you, and I will try not to be gross, but we're going to... It's tough. I'm not feeling well, so hopefully I'll be able to knock this cold out quickly. Right now, nothing going on here in Quebec. We got a very quiet game. We've heavily outshot them so far, but they are catching up in shots as we approach the final moments of the first period, and that is going to do it. We're roughly outshooting them 2-1 with 13 shots to 7, but the game is still tied. So we need to continue to put pressure on Frederick Anderson if we're going to put one in, that's for sure. We need a goal from one of our top-line guys, I think. Power play for Toronto doesn't go anywhere. That's no good. Quebec continues to shoot. They've definitely caught up in shots there early on, first half of the second period. They're right there with us now. Toronto coming back hardcore. All the way down to 5 minutes left, and that's where Gamer is going to go ahead and put one in on Stallcup. Just a Gamer for Toronto breaks that scoreless series, and now we've got ourselves a 1-goal deficit that we're staring up at with 20 minutes left to play. All right, well, let's get right to it. Final 20 minutes. Come on, Quebec. Got to score a goal, and right off the bat, Tavares goals on Stallcup. Yeah, see, this is the problem that we're going to run into. Stallcup, rookie goalie, never really played in the playoffs before. It's going to be a rough one, boys. Tavares gets his second on Stallcup in the third period. I can't even get upset by this. I mean, really. Vasilevsky, herniated disc, 2 games before the playoffs start. Dude, that's just really, really bad luck. That's all it really boils down to. We're going to have to try to fight our way through this. Tuft does score on Anderson, shows that, yes, he can indeed be scored upon. We need to build on that next game, though. 3-1. Toronto takes game 1 in round 1. Not good. Not good at all. All right, let's move on to game number 2. I'm going to make a quick change. Do I want to make the change? No, I think we're going to be all right for now. Let's check it in a game or two, but I want to take a look at power play, penalty kill, all that. But I want to give it a couple games before we really make any massive changes. For right now, we're going to go with what we've got, and hopefully we can find a way to score some goals here. Here we go. Game 2 underway, first period. And we're rolling. Okay, so Quebec. Power play for Toronto. That got shut down. Very nice. All right, halfway through the first period here. We still no goals, but very few shots. So it seems like a much more defensive game here in this second game. Hopefully Quebec can come out ahead by getting a goal early in the second period, because we're not going to score any goals here in the first. 11 shots to 8. Score is tied 0-0. We're moving into the second period now. Here we go. Quebec right off the bat gets a power play. They do not score, though. And Kruger scores on Stallcup. Yeah, this is going to be a really tough series, guys. I don't know what we're going to do here, but we need to figure something out. We need to get a goal here. Here it is. Wallstrom finally scores. Let's see if we can get another quick one, boys. We need something to get a little bit of a momentum going. We need to kind of get things going. There it is. Hughes, big goal there on Anderson with 3:34 left in the period, and that'll do it. 40 minutes in the book. We're up by 1. I just need Stallcup to shut her down now. All right, you didn't have a bad game. You didn't have a bad game in game number 1. You had a normal game. 3 goals against is not great, but being a rookie, first game of the playoffs, I'm going to give you nerves, right? Now you've got yourself on lock. Just need to keep them out of the net. They're going to come hard, but you got this. Our defense just needs to play solid in front of him. An extra marker here would be great. Let's see if we can get an insurance marker and go up by 2. That would be really good to extend that lead. Power play doesn't convert. We're already down. There it is. There's Kaprizov with that extender. 2-goal. There we go. Paling scores on Anderson. That's what we're looking for. All right, we're good. Now we just need to go ahead and play defense for the last 10 minutes here. Power play for Toronto. That's a long power play, too. We're taking a lot of penalties there in that stretch. 3 minutes down to 2 minutes and 1 minute, and that is going to do it. We're going to take game number 2, and that's the kind of game I want to see. We're going to need to score 3-4 goals to beat Toronto here. We got lucky. Remy stole us a game, showed us what he's capable of, and evens out that that goal against to 2. An even 2 now. Hopefully we can get that down even more here as the rest of this season, or this rest of this round progresses. So there we go. Tied up the round. We split them here at home, 1-1. We're moving to Toronto for game number 3. If we can win game number 3 here, we'll have taken home ice advantage back. We're going to need to take at least one here in Toronto, though. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to take at least one here in Toronto. There's really no way around that. So let's make it this one. Quebec. They're out to a good start, hanging with Toronto right now. We're going to try to get ourselves halfway through the period. Took a drink of water there, and nothing happening. So there we go. Outshot by Toronto, 12-9, but the game is still tied. I'd like to see Quebec get a few more shots on net. We'll have to see how this goes. All right, so let's get into second period. See if we can get ourselves there. We go right off the bat in the second period. 2 minutes in, Duchesne scores. Toronto with a power play. That gets shut down. That's what I'm talking about. Nice shutdown defense. That's what we want. Let's get ourselves an extended here. Let's get a little bit of extension on that to lead. Power play for Toronto. 5 minutes left, all the way down to 4-3. Another power play for Toronto. Stalkup is absolutely standing on his head now. He's figured it out. All right, 40 minutes gone. 17 shots for Quebec. 29 shots for Toronto. They're basically outshooting us 2-1. We really need to get an insurance marker here because Stalkup is playing great, but I don't know if he's going to be able to steal another game for us. We really need to get that extra marker, guys. So Hughes, I'm looking at you. Wallstrom. Denisenko, D. Salvatore, that would be great to see you put one in. Paling, would be good to see you put one in. Come on, guys, let's go. We're going to need somebody to step up. Who's going to be the hero? All right, and there it is, Matthews. He is on the team. We wondered if he was, and there it is. Noonan's the one who takes the lead. Way to step up there, fourth liner, getting that go-ahead goal. And then Tuft gets the insurance marker, also a fourth liner. Duchesne on the first line. There's the 4, 3-4. Like I said, it's going to take 3 to 4 goals a game in order for us to beat Toronto. And we've got that in spades right now. We're up 2-1. We take game 1 in Toronto. That's excellent. We can take game number 2 as well. We're in a really good position. But we've wrestled back that home ice advantage. And we're in much better shape now than we were coming into game number 2. All right, so heading into game number 4, still in Toronto. Definitely they're going to be looking to get a little bit of a revenge here for that last game. That was a bad third period for Frederik Andersen and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So let's see if we can, Nylander on Stalkup early. But Miller is going to tie it up right away. Power play for Quebec. Are they going to be able to go ahead? No, they can't halfway through the game. But there it is, Denisenko. He's going to come through for him on that third line. So Keandre Miller and Denisenko scoring back-to-back goals here about 3 minutes apart. And we got ourselves a nice little goal lead here moving into the second period. We're out shooting them 15-9 as we head into period number 2. Be great if we can get one more here. Power play for Quebec. No good there. Another power play, and there it is. Jack Hughes on the power play. Extends the lead to 2. Cut in half right there by Tavares. Now we're down to 1. 10 minutes left in the period. Halfway through the game, we're still up by 1. Toronto with another power play. That doesn't convert. And we're heading into the final 2 minutes of the period. All right, 40 minutes have come and gone. 27 shots for Quebec, 18 shots for Toronto. We just need to go ahead and hold tight here, and hopefully Stalkup can keep the puck out of the net for the rest of the game. That would be really good. We can go ahead and get ourselves another extension here, another marker. That would be great. Another power play for Toronto gets killed off. Getting a lot of power plays for Toronto right now. Taking a lot of power plays. We'll have to see if we can maybe address that. We may not have to, though. If we can hold on, another power play here late in the period, 2 minutes left. down to 1, and that's going to do it. Remy Stalkup steals us that game, 3-2. Quebec takes a commanding 3-1 lead in this series. We take them both in Toronto, and we're heading back to Quebec for game number 5. That's pretty solid. You got to love that. All right, heading into game number 5. This is going to be good stuff. Back home in front of the home ice crowd. See if we can move on to round number 2 here, defeating Toronto in 5 games. That would be really nice. Remy Stalkup had that rough first game, and right off the bat, Baptiste scores on Stalkup. First shot of the game. Yep, they're not going to go down quietly. We've only had 3 shots, make that 4 shots halfway through the period. Need to score, or need to shoot a little bit more. And Kruger gets a second goal on Stalkup early in this game. 3 goals now. Tavares scores. Less than 10 shots, 3 goals. That's not a good game at all for Stalkup. We knew he was due for a bad one. And Toronto has definitely figured him out here. We need to see if we can get back into this game. Second period underway. 10 shots now for Quebec. We need to score a goal just to get started. About halfway through the game now, and we're still no goals on our side of the board. And Tavares scores his second goal on Stalkup. Could be his 3rd goal. Take a look at that. Nope, it's his second. And then Tuft finally breaks through. He gets himself a goal just before the end of the second period there at 4:52. So we've got 20 minutes to score 3 goals. It isn't impossible, but it's not easy. We're going to have to start off with one right away. Right off the bat, we're going to need one within the first minute or so, and then we're going to have to get one probably pretty quickly after that. Toronto's going to start shutting things down, so we'll have to see how that goes. Toronto, 23 shots, Quebec, 19. We're up 3-1 in the series, but Toronto is winning this game right now. We need to get one early here, and that's not going to happen. We're not going to get one early, and instead it's Matthews scoring on Stalkup. We can't possibly put the backup in. The backup's terrible. Sparks isn't going to get it done for us, and so that is probably going to do it. There's no way we're coming back with less than 10 minutes on a 5-1 advantage for Toronto. So Toronto's going to take game number 5 in Quebec just to show them that, yeah, you're going to take a little bit more effort than that to take them out of the playoffs. And we're heading back to Toronto for a game 6, a dangerous game 6. If Toronto can go ahead and somehow find a way to get the marker there, that could be really, really bad for Quebec. This is where Stalkup needs to come through. He had a really bad game there. He had an awful game. Now I need him to have a great game. Right? I need him to have a great game, and I need my goal scorers to show up. I need him to show up here to support Remy. All right, here we go. Game number 6 in Toronto. Underway. Let's get one early. No, they get one early. Brown scores on Stalkup. Power play for Toronto. Again, very early on in the game, they get ahead. We need to tie this game up big time. We cannot let them go up 2-0. 8 minutes left, down to 7. 6 minutes left in the first period, all the way down to 5 minutes. And it looks like they're going to get out of the first period here with a lead. We need to find a way to get more shots on net and get a goal past Frederik Andersen right now. We absolutely must get this tied up. Here we go, second period underway. Looks like Quebec comes out firing, but they can't seem to make it go. Power play for Toronto. It's a long one, no good. Come on, boys. And there it is. Tavares scores on Stalkup. The problem is their superstars are starting to get warmed up, and our guys have stopped scoring. And that's not good. We need a goal here. There it is. Hughes with 42 seconds left gives us hope. Hope that the last 20 minutes can somehow find us another goal, get us to overtime perhaps. We just need one to tie this up. Let's go, boys. We need it early. We need Hughes to score again. We need Kaprizov. Haven't seen him. How about Denisenko, Wallstrom? How about Paling? Haven't seen his name at all. We haven't even seen Duchesne's name, I don't believe, and that looks like it's going to go down to defeat here. Quebec with 32 shots and only 1 goal. Looks like Anderson's going to steal them this game, and he does. 2-1, Toronto wins game number 6, and now we've got a game 7. We had an opportunity up 3-1 in this series to end it at game 5, and we squandered that with a bad game by Remy Stalkup, and then a great game by Remy Stalkup, but no offensive support. So we're having a lot of trouble here. We're going to have to do something to score some goals. Let's get in here and see what we can do to mix this up for game 7. See if maybe there's something we can do to shake things up a bit, right? Why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and just go with best lines just to see what happens. Because to be completely honest, we need to do something. And mixing some things up here, maybe that'll help. You never know. So we're going to throw Denisenko, it looks like, up on that first line. DeSalvatore's going to stay where he's at. Kaprizov's going to stay where he's at. Duchesne's going to come down and play instead of Paling. Paling's going to drop down, get a little bit weaker opponents to play against there on that third pairing, possibly. Noonan and Wallstrom. We're going to go ahead and bring Jankowski down. He's going to have a little bit weaker opponents to play against on that fourth line. And Sherwood's going to come in instead of Sissons. So we're giving up a little bit of defense, but we need to find ways of putting the puck in the net. And hopefully that's going to be the way we do it. But we're going to have to see. We're just going to have to see. Hope this works. Hope this works. That's all we can do, right? Because I don't think there's a way that it's obvious that what was working isn't when it comes to our forwards. It just isn't. 2 games in a row we've lost the game, and we have only scored 1 goal each game. So obviously our lines weren't working. We scored 3 goals the game before that, 4 before that, 4 before that, and then all of a sudden he just shuts us down for 2 straight games, and that's rough. That's really rough. So he shut us out here at 1, and then he shut us out at 1 these other 3 games. So every game we've lost, we've only scored 1 goal. We've got to find a way to score more goals. And so it's time to shake things up and see if we can knock something loose. Otherwise, it's going to be an early exit for the Quebec Nordiques. All right, here we go. Game 7 in Quebec. We'll just get it close. Keep it close, boys. That's all we want to do. We want to keep it close or blow them out. Either keep it close with and hang with them or blow them out. That's what we want. All right, here we go. Simulate time. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. First period underway. Quebec. Right off the bat, Kadri scores on the first shot of the game again. Toronto power play. No good. Playing from behind again against Toronto here. Not in a good spot. We definitely direly need to get this game tied up. Still nothing. Going all the way into the final moments of the first, and we're getting out of the first with a 1-0 deficit. Toronto leading in this Game 7 of round number 1. Kadri with the goal on Stallcup. Come on, boys. We need to tie this game. Only 9 shots for Quebec, 13 for Toronto. As we start off the second period, and they get a power play goal. That is not good. Now we are down by 2 with not a whole lot of time left in this game. There we go. Duchesne cuts it in half on a power play. Power play's extended, but no good. We got to get the next one. We've got to get this tied up. Hughes, I'm looking for you. Power play there. No power play opportunity conversion. We really, really need to score. And no, it's Kadri with another goal on Stallcup. And that is going to do it for the second period. We're down by 2. Heading into the third and final period. All right, here we go. We need to score 1 early, and we need to get this game tied. Let's go, boys. Come on, we need somebody to step up. Anderson, he is absolutely shutting us down here. Yeah, that's the problem. It's just Anderson is too good. No shots. We're not shooting the puck. Power play for Toronto. That gets shut down. Come on, boys. 5 minutes left, down to 4. 3, that's it. He's going to keep us to 1 again. And that's the story of this playoff series. Every single game we lost, we scored just a single goal. Our goal scorers did not show up. Final 3 games of the series. Look at this. 1 goal 4. 1 goal 4 and 1 goal 4. Look at that. 1 goal 4, 1 goal 4, 1 goal 4. And 1 goal 4. Every single time we lost was by the fact that we just did not score goals. And when we did score goals, we win. 3 games. 4 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals. And then 1, 1, and 1, and 1. That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, that's going to do it. We lose in 7 in the first round. That's really disappointing. Super disappointing. President's Trophy winning team, and we go out in the first round. Because we can't score goals. That's what happens when you get into the playoffs, though. These goalies are insanely good. And let's be completely honest. Remy Stallcup, as a rookie in his first playoffs, let's see how we did as a team. As a team. All right, as a team, we had 15 goals. We were scoring 2.14 during the regular season. We were a three-goal scoring team. per game, and we didn't reach that point. And we had 2-4-3, which was right around or close to what we had in the regular season. So it wasn't our defense. It was the fact that our goal scorers just didn't show up. Power play, we had 3-on-14 for 21% chance. I mean, that's decent. I mean, you can't ask for much better than that, to be completely honest. Toronto also had pretty much the same. We probably could have done better on our penalty kill. Yeah, we could have done better on our penalty kill, but so could they have. So it kind of is what it is. Unfortunately, we weren't scoring enough goals, and that is how you lose a game, is by not scoring enough goals. I mean, that's the simplistic way of looking at it, but the bottom line is our forwards just didn't show up. And so now we're going to have to shake some things up. We're just going to have to shake some things up. Who really didn't show up for us, right? That's who I really want to know. People who are like, I think it was, we didn't say Paling's name once. I don't think we said Duchesne's name once. So no goals from them in the playoffs. Oh, yeah, Duchesne had 3 goals. Never mind. Duchesne had 3 goals. Hughes had 3 goals. Who's up there? Forsberg? Forsberg doesn't score a single goal. He had 4 points, all of them assists, but doesn't score a single goal in 7 games. Dude, he only took 10 shots. That's not enough shots. Hughes took all the shots on the first line. But yeah, 10 shots for Philip Forsberg in 7 games. We've got to have more shooting than that. So I'm going to take a look at our strategies to make sure our strategies are correct and all of that. But that's pathetic. It really is pathetic. Duchesne, Hughes, Tuft, all with 3 goals. Tuft absolutely killing it down there on the 4th line for us, helping us out big time, trying to keep us in games. But once they figured out how to shut that 4th line down, they shut the 1st line down, they shut the 4th line down, and everybody else is kind of, they're like a goal here and there. Goal here and there. Not enough. Not nearly enough, boys. We did really poorly in this playoffs. Really poorly. Who had my big minuses? Anybody? +4, -4. Jankowski, Paling, Kaprizov. Yeah. Jankowski had a -4. That 3rd line, huh? That 3rd line got abused pretty heavily. That 3rd line got abused pretty heavily. It looks like they got scored on too the 4th line got scored on in the last game because Sherwood only came in for the 1 game. So we know one of those minuses for Jankowski came in the last game. The other 3 were the other 6 games. Yeah, he was getting scored on that 3rd line. That's so frustrating. Oh well, what can you do, right? Take a quick look at Stallcup, see how he did in his rookie year in the playoffs. 7 games, went 3-4, went a 9-2-6 and a 2-4-4. Look, if you do 9-2-6, that's pretty decent. You should be able to win some games. You need goal support. I can't get upset with Remy. You know, honestly, rookie year, first showing in the playoffs. Hopefully he learns something from it and we get some poise out of that. But, man, that is rough. All we had to do was score some goals, and nobody showed up. Nobody showed up in that last game. Those last 3 games, it's like everybody took the night off. They thought, hey, we're up 3-1. We're going to win this easy. And no, they didn't. They get knocked out. So that'll do it. We'll be back for the draft in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you soon there. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure you give this video a like, hit that thumbs up button, and make sure you subscribe and turn those notifications on so you always know when our next video is posted, and we will see you next time. If you want to check us out live, make sure you do it on Fridays and Saturday and Sunday nights, when you can find us on Twitch at The Final Knight Errant. Till next time, take care, guys. We'll see you then.